so today we're going to be using big, huge banana leaves. And I bought these from Oriental Trading Company. I'm a contributor over there, and I have been for a couple years, and they sell these. They're really big, beautiful. They're like plastic-ish kind of material. I don't really know what they are made of, but they come, and of course, as Oriental Trading does, packages of like 8 million. So I have tons of these laying around. So the first thing we're going to use is these fun banana leaves. And I'm going to do the ones with the polka dots, but for this project, you could really use any kind of like faux plant material. The next thing is a shadow box. We're going to do a fun shadow box project today. So this is nothing special. This is probably like 5x5 sized shadow box. Also a leftover project material from Oriental Trading. So that's where I got these, but you can get these at any of your local craft stores. Okay, so we have our leaves, we have our shadow box. We also are going to be using some paints. I had these ribbons out for my picture today, and I really just loved this like magenta kind of burgundy color with this coral paired with the green of the leaves. So these are my color inspiration. We're not going to use ribbon. That's just where I got my color inspo. So I found the closest paints I could to those colors. So we're going to use this satin plum and a sherbet paint color. So I have out a couple paint brushes and my ever favorite paint palette, but really you don't need this. This is just my favorite because it's like a piece of art itself. I just love adding color, and I actually even sell prints where I've taken like different times. I sell prints of this because people love it, and so do I, and it's pretty and it's happy. Anyway, you could just use a paper plate. You don't even really need a paint palette, but I like to use one as well. We're going to be using hot glue, glue sticks, and scissors. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is, like I said, you could do this project with any faux plant material that you have. And I have tons of them laying around. I'm not going to grab them, but you know what I'm talking about. Just those floral stems, and there's like a big flower, and then tons of leftover leaves, and most of the time you like don't need them or you throw them away. Today I'm going to use them. So I'm going to use this big guy, and I have already added the polka dots to him. I just used a paint marker, white paint marker, and added polka dots. And what we're going to do, we're going to take this guy, cut it down to size, and place him inside our box. Now the purpose of it is not to just cover up the whole thing, because then we could just paint it green and add polka dots. I want it to look like we actually have a leaf in there. So I'm going to find a piece of my banana leaf here that has some like negative space to it. All right, so what we're going to do, I think I'm going to kind of pick this area of my leaf because there's a lot of like negative space in it. So to kind of get started, I'm just placing it in my box, kind of pushing it, pulling it around, seeing the best placement, making sure you guys are still with me. Okay, so I think it's going to be something like this. We'll see. I'm going to just find the best layout. I think I'm going to use these upper leaves. So I grab myself a little pin. It's not the one I meant to grab, but that's okay. And just do a very basic shape on my leaf of the box so I know like my basic places to cut. And I'm going to trace it out just really lightly with this marker, and then we're going to cut it. Okay, so my marker literally went completely invisible. All right. There we go. All right, so we're going to cut out our leaf. and add it to the box. I love doing shadow box projects because they're so versatile and you can use them for so many different things. You can use them as like a keychain, like a key holder for your keys when you come in the door, or loose change. So many different ideas. Okay, so basically right now I just have a cut up leaf. And I have my glue gun over here warming up. And what we're gonna do is just hot glue that guy right inside. And what I wanted to do was wrap these leaves around the box edges. So as you can see, I'm gonna start gluing up here so that my leaf is kind of like folded inside the box. All right, so I'm all ready. I think I'm gonna put my first little dab of glue in there and we'll get going. All right, so I'm gonna start right at the seam of my box just to get it right and nice and tight in there. I think I'll just use this paintbrush even to push it down. And then I'm gonna add some hot glue to the edges of the box. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so far, can you see? It's just glued right in there like that. And I didn't line up my leaf perfectly straight. When it glued, it kind of like shifted just a little bit, but I think I know a trick that we can make it look like there's no seam whatsoever, and it'll be just fine. All right, so now we just go in and keep gluing in our leaf. Just make sure he's nice and tidy, tucked in there. Zooming along on our project, making a shadow box. All right, so getting our leaves all set in place. I'm loving the look so far, very fun. And then I just have one more piece to go. So here is where we're at currently. I like it. And then we will be done with this part of it. I think doing like a fern leaf would be so elegant. I do have a fern right over here. So I think this would also be like the most lovely, just like very simple and elegant inside of a shadow box. I think that would be a beautiful look. Okay, add some glue over there. Okay, so here is where we're at so far. We have our big banana leaf, and I hot glued him in. So if you can see, he's kind of like wrapped around from the front. Here's what it looks like. So I already had added those polka dots on, and I didn't end up needing this piece. Next up is the paint. So what I was gonna do for paint, and I really love to do this because I love the natural wood. I don't know if you can see. I have another shadow box back here on the wall. It's pretty hard to see, but I painted that one. I marbled the entire outside and then I left the inside plain. I really love the look of keeping that natural wood and then combining it with color. I think it's a very like modern twist to your project. So I'm gonna add some color to the outside of my box. All right, first we're going to start with our coral sherbet color. And I'm just going to paint him really nice along the edges. Nice and pretty color. I love the combination of the green, the leaves, and the natural wood color, and then just like a pop of paint. So you can see, very happy which is my brand. Happy colors, lots of plants. That's how I do it. All right. So, sky is looking good on this side. We got one side done. And I think I'm going to use this bold color, the purple kind of orchid. What was this one called? Plum. I think I'm going to use the plum just on the top portion of our shadow box. All right, one more side to go. And then we are done with the paint on this part. And I am using Handmade Modern paints from Target. I have quite a few different paint types. Acrylic paint is what I normally use for my crafting projects. I really love Martha Stewart's brand of paints. I think everything that she creates is the most lovely product. Oh, look how cute this is, you guys. This is like better than I even thought it would be. I'm going to put this on my hot glue while I switch colors. And then next we are going to use this plum color and do just the tip, just the top of the shadow box. So we're going with the sherbet color on the outside, and that's a little more pink than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more coral, but that's okay. And then we're going to do the plum on the outside, and then we're going to leave it just natural on the inside. And this plum color is a little thicker for some reason. I think it's older, so I'm not going to pour that one out. I'm just going to leave him in the jar. And this, you could either, okay, we're moving now, we're zooming. This is going great. So we're adding our plum color for those of you just joining. To the top, we're making this really fun shadow box. Look how fun that is. Hopefully I'm not going to get paint on myself, but I think I'll be good. One more side to go and we're done with this project, you guys. It's going so great. And I've had so much fun. One more little spot to go and we're done. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna put the lid on this guy and show her off. So here it is. It's wet, but we have our shadow box we just made, and we put a beautiful leaf inside with bright, colorful polka dots. Now my hands are covered in paint. And then after we got that guy in the shadow box, then we painted the outside of our box this beautiful sherbet color, a little pinker than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of going for this peachy color, but I guess my color just looks a little different on the box. And then I added this beautiful plum to the top, and I will try to share this one more time. Oh, it's so wet. Here we go. So this is a really fun, this would be so fun to have on your wall. I might put it on the wall. I also love using shadow boxes for like throwing loose change when you come in from outdoors, throwing your keys in there. I have lots of different shadow boxes I've given my kids just to hold their stuff, because if you have kids, you know, they just accumulate things. You don't even know how. But this is our project today. So I hope you enjoyed our first 2019 craft of the year. And I'm going to set this guy down to let him dry. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I'm Amy from Delineate Dwelling.